Hey guys, Alex here from Homeschool of Bel Air. On today's video, I wanted to give you guys an updated room tour. If you guys are interested to see what we've got going on, stay tuned. As far as Evelyn goes, if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know that we used to do tray work. So we used to use that little white unit, which is the IKEA Trofast, for my tray work. Come August 5th, she's no longer going to be doing tray work. She's actually going to be doing the workbox system. So what I ended up having to do is I went ahead and gave her my little rainbow cart. So that is now where she has all of her curriculum set up for the next school year. But I do want to give you guys a quick little look as to how I set up her area. I don't want to make this video super long. So I'm not going to go super in depth with every drawer and every bin, but I do want to give you guys a good little idea as to how I set everything up. So as far as the yellow Collects unit, I believe I've had it set up the same way since she was doing preschool with me. The major thing that I've done is I added her little chalkboard, and it's off on this corner now, where I believe before, I can't remember if I had it coming out of here or if I had it along this wall. But I did move it. Everything is pretty much as it was. So if you guys can see, I'm not gonna go super in depth with everything, but you guys can get a good understanding as to what I keep in this unit here. This red bin here, I do have some of the Target dollar spot or bullseye area Velcro, or not Velcro, I'm sorry, these are the felt activity sets that they sell, or the books. That is what I have in there. And then this one is just little train tracks. So that is what I have there. This orange sack here is a aquadoodle mat that she got for her birthday recently. And then she also got her sequence letters game for her birthday as well. So that is what we have there. And then as far as her focus wall, this has also changed a little bit because she's gonna be doing preschool. The phonics area is not the letter of the week, it's gonna be phonics because we're gonna be dealing with more phonics sounds. So this will be changing every week. As far as vocabulary, we're doing wordly wise. So that's gonna be changing every week as well with 5 different words. And then her sight word's gonna be changing weekly also. I am gonna try to, as far as her focus wall, I am gonna try to add whatever concept, if I can find a poster or anything having to do with the math concept she's learning, I'll probably put it up. But that's usually a little bit harder to do. So right now we're just focusing on numbers 1 through 10 recognition. Having her learn how to write them and recognize them. So that's really what we're working on right now. Up here, so real quick, when it comes to the Trofast unit, which is this white unit here, this is what we use for tray work. And all the trays are still there. I'm just not using them for her work anymore. What I ended up doing is I just kind of separated some of her more hands-on type, Melissa and Doug type of puzzles. And this one just happened to fit perfectly in there, so I just left it there. So she has little hands-on activities that she can work on in between. If I'm working with her brothers, she knows she can grab one of these trays, take it to her work, and work on it while she waits patiently for me. So every single tray has a different little activity she can do. I don't know yet that I'll be changing these out. I might just leave them as is, because it's something that the boys can also grab and take to their desks also if I'm busy with their sister. So everything has a different type of hands-on activity, and that is that. And then this red bin here has coloring books and other just workbooks that the kids can also just kind of come and grab and take to their desk if they want to play with one of those. As far as the top of the Trofast unit, this I might still use for kindergarten. What I'm using this top one for is part of the Wordly Wise also. If you guys are familiar with that curriculum, you get a concept card that you have to focus on for the lesson. And what I did was, the word dandelion is on the back of that, but I wanted to be able to not have to turn this around every single time we talk about it. So I went ahead and just got a magnetic board and spelled out the word dandelion. On this tray here, we're still working out of this throughout pre-K. We're still finishing up a couple things, a couple workbooks that she has, and we're still focusing on the phonetic sounds of letters and letter recognition. I did pull out a couple alphabet books. I also put up a little shelf here to put any books that we're going to be focusing on for that week or so. So right now we're still focusing on the alphabet, so I have all the alphabet books there. This is also what she's doing for math right now. She's working out of, this is Adrian's here. She's working out of these little hot dots here, and is just number recognition and counting and a little bit of colors and patterns. So that is what she's been doing. And again, this is what Adrian's been working on just in between lessons, and is just they're actually the kindergarten level, but he seems to think they're fun, so I let him work out of those. So now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the workbox system, how I set it up for Evelyn for this next school year. So up here, I set up some of her phonics and just kind of reading supplement stuff we're gonna be using. This is the Dash Into Reading printables from lesson 1, or book 1. All the readers are up here. And if you guys are not familiar with this set of books, they are the cutest little things. And I'm hoping to be able to tap into these pretty soon. Some of these cards are part of this reading mat here. I also have back here my beginning sound phonic cards, and these I do have on my Teacher Pay Teachers if anybody's interested, and they're just CVC picture cards, and they have the phonetic sound to go with the letter. So that's what I have here. Now, as far as her work boxes, I do have it all set up for next school year. So for writing, if you guys have already seen my curriculum picks video, then you guys know exactly what we're doing. I just do want to show you guys a little bit of how I've already set everything up. So as far as writing, we're doing handwriting without tears, and I don't have the letters that go with this, but I am going to have her use the little construction letters to form the letters that she's going to be doing. She has her chalkboard back here, and then her chalk and eraser in here. The other thing that I keep in this drawer is her little drawing journal for the Draw Right Now that she's going to be starting this coming school year. The next drawer down is her phonics and reading drawer, and this is where I have her McGraw-Hill reading activity book. I'm setting up her pages for the practice book in here, and I kind of just set it up with tabs that say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the Friday is on the back here. And this is just additional practice from this book. So like that, she doesn't have to bring both books out. I'm just going to be putting the pages in here that she needs to do from the practice book. The first week of school, she's also going to be, we're going to be focusing on the first 2 letters of the alphabet, obviously. So I have those 2 flashcards ready to go in here. The next one is sight words. Sight words, we just have her little activity book that I put together for her flashcard, and then her writing notebook. This is something that I put together for her for pre-K, but all the pages are still pretty good to go. So we're going to continue to use it. And for this one, we just try to make the sight word a little bit more hands-on, so she can stamp it, she can trace it, she can do whatever she wants with the sight word. So that is basically what we use this for. Her vocabulary is ready to go. And I did comb bind some of these books just so they lay a little bit more flat. This is her Words Their Way, and I put a little basket because for Words Their Way, she has to do 1 sort for the whole entire week. So she has to cut these out. And so they're not just kind of floating around in the drawer. I put a little basket so she can stick them in here. The next one is her phonics. And as far as phonics, we're going to be doing this one from Lakeshore Learning, and is just using her dauber, and she gets to daub a couple letters. But we're also going to be doing Explode the Code. She might not be ready for this at the beginning of the school year, but it's ready to go for whenever I feel like she's ready to start that, which will probably be within maybe 2 months. I'm kind of calculating. The next one is her reading, and then her math. As far as math, I had forgotten I had purchased her these dauber books from Lakeshore Learning also. So she has a couple little counting books that we're probably going to work out of just like the first couple of days of school. She also has a comparing numbers one. And then I also found this one, and I didn't want it to go unused, so I went ahead and just stuck it in here. I'm sure we can find some time to work on that. I also stuck some flashcards 1 through 10 in here, and then her math workbooks are in here. Her science is ready to go, and then her social studies is ready to go. Here on the side, I do have her hooked on phonics. She has been listening to the CD, and then I also have her morning work binder, which is just a little calendar pages that she does, and then her name practice that she gets to do Monday through Friday. And then on this one, what I decided to make for her is I made this little page here For the word of the week is basically her sight word. So every morning she also has to write, I'm gonna write whatever sight word she has for that week here. And she just has to make sure she writes it Monday through Friday at least once. And then the days of the week. And then I'm using my weather pages that I have on my Teacher Paid Teachers for my morning calendar. But as far as calendar, I felt like my calendar was too advanced for her. So I did print out these from This Reading Mama, and it's just basically tracing the date. And then I write the number in here for whatever date, and then she just has to find it and then write it herself, which I thought was a little more appropriate for her age. So I went ahead and printed those out on colored paper. And then that's basically it for morning work. I'm just gonna have her do that. So that's one of the major things that I've done differently. As far as this part of the classroom is basically the same. I have my construction paper here. I do have my mapping book here, which I love, and we use quite a bit. Color pencils, crayons for the kids. They each have their color coordinated box. This board is not magnetic, so I do have this magnetic board that I have from IKEA in case I need to put anything up. I put it on this board. So this is where I keep all my math manipulatives, and I do have a lot. So it's all of this, and they are broken up in categories. I do have anything that's more on the fractions is there, up here. This one is just like linking cubes and anything for pattern making or pattern building. Clocks. This one is just counting, dice, counters, all that kind of stuff. And then this one is place value and money. And then I do have a bunch of other math manipulatives in here. This one here, I think I've shown it before, is more phonics type of activities, puzzles, more of these spelling wooden puzzles and letter puzzles. Anything having to do with letters is in here. And then this is just extra beads and blocks and color sorting things and magnets. And then this one here is a couple of hands-on activities also. The Seek and Boo game, letter construction, these are the magnetic ones. And then a couple puzzles and things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and come over here real quick. So these two red bins here, this one is just here for the summer. This one is where I keep all of it's like my little charging station, the kids' computers. They're just plugged in there to charge, and then their headphones. This is the curriculum that we're still working out of when it comes to the boys. So they have their social studies, science, and history in here. We're almost done. We probably have about a week left to complete all of this. This week we had to take off because the boys have wrestling camp. So they're gonna be out of school this whole week unless I can get them to do work after, which would be like evening school. But we'll see. I have to feel them out to see how tired they're gonna be after wrestling camp. So on this side here, I created a little art corner. I used to have all of our books in this corner, kind of cornered there. And I went ahead and brought it out under my chalkboard here. And I kind of like how it looks a lot better. So the way that I organize my books is I just kind of put anything that's more educational, anything nonfiction, things like that, dictionaries, encyclopedias, books about different animals, insects, whatever it might be, are going to be in here. Books that are more geared towards Evelyn are going to be right in those little bins. Those are highlight magazines. And then down in the bottom unit, which is an IKEA bookcase, I have like some of my reader books that I buy, like old textbook styles. And then in this green bin here, I have all of my chapter books. So chapter books that I would eventually want Vincent to be able to start reading. And here it's more leveled readers. So anything that's more of a leveled reader. And they're supposed to be in order, but of course the kids grab them and don't put them in order. So I should have like all the beginning readers, 1s, and then number 2s and 3s towards the back. So that is what I have here. Okay, so and then on this side I have all of the kids just like picture books and story books, and anything like that is going to be on this side. I don't feel like I have a huge selection of books, but that's because we do tend to go to the library. I try to go to the library as much as I can. Lately I haven't had a chance to, but we plan on going a lot more in these next couple of months. I do have a book bin here. This is for library books. So like that, anytime we get books, we stick them in here and they don't mix with the rest of the books. Up here, I do try to focus or put up any books that we're focusing on, whether it be the season or anything that we're learning is going to be up here. We're still in spring, so I still have some of my spring books up. I will be changing those out for some of the summer books in the next week or so. On this side, I do have my little Usborne children's book of art. And then right here is my Chicano studies books. These are all my bilingual or Spanish books that we're going to be doing unit studies on. And then on this side, I have Evelyn's little libros. And these are little bilingual books that are mainly Evelyn's. She loves these books. And then her A's for Activist book. I do have, on the side here, I do have my United States map. This was something that I purchased through, was it Target, the Bullseye area. And it was a coloring page, but I went ahead and laminated it. On that side, I have also from the Target Bullseye area is the world map. So that is dry erase, and that one came dry erase. In this corner here, I do have Evelyn's little art table. I did decide to set up a little art table for her because she loves drawing. She absolutely loves it. And there's times where if she's just waiting on me, she'll start to draw on her desk. But then it becomes a little distracting for the boys, and then they want to draw. So I decided to go ahead and make her a little corner where she can just, if I'm working with the boys and she wants to just draw, she can just kind of sit here quietly and, draw by herself. So this is an old table and an old chair from IKEA. These were Vincent's when he was a baby, and they're very well loved. As you guys can see, there's paint everywhere and there's stickers. I am going to try to clean it up a little bit better. So this whole little station is from IKEA. The lamp is from IKEA. The little drawing paper scroll is from IKEA. And then obviously the paper's from IKEA, and then the little chair and the table. And this is the little coffee tables, which are like $9. On this side is where I keep all their art stuff or paper. So they each have a little sketch pad. So they're all in here. Evelyn has one of these big doodle pads. And then those are those plates, like the fashion plates. So that's what that is. And then I did print this out from Teacher Paid Teachers. I thought it was so cute, and it's just little color posters. They were big, but I ended up printing them out small, and I think they are the perfect addition to this little art area. So these little cups here are from IKEA also, and I just went ahead and put up some of the old markers from this past school year that are kind of running low on ink, and some are probably already dry. I haven't been able to check all of them, but the kids usually get all-new school supplies for the first day of school anyway. So I went ahead and just kind of pulled out all their little thin markers, some of their thicker ones, and then their little twist up crayons. And some of these are almost empty, some aren't. This one isn't, but I figure for the little art area, it's perfect. And all I did was I put up one of these little picture frame, I forgot what they're called. It's just like a wire with, they go on the back of picture frames. I had bought the little kit, and it's actually working out perfectly fine. So that is that. Up here, I just have a little whiteboard and then a little clock, my sharpener, and then this unit, I'm not gonna go into every cabinet. Everything that I have in here is just, this one just has a bunch of my things like printer ink, and then some of these little laminate things, my chalk for the chalkboard. And then it's mainly just extra school supplies. So extra markers, erasers, glues, extra pencils, anything like that is gonna be in here. So that is basically what I have in these. This one here just has some of my stamps and stamp sets and things like that. And the rest are folders and paper, binders, composition books, things like that. There's just like extra. These are folders and some of these hanging file things. Up here, I do house a couple of things. I have my life cycle of a chick up here, some little spelling game. This is a duck that died in our property, and we saved all the bones. Here we just have a couple phonics type of games. We have a rhyming. This is a rhyming phonics train from Lakeshore Learning. This one too is from Lakeshore Learning. Is just a CBC booklet. And then some phonics. This is for bigger kids. It's just like write and wipe activities. This is kind of cool. Vincent liked this a lot. Alphabet Lotto, and then some of these types of games from the Target Dollar Spot. Some of this stuff is just random extra stuff. I do have my big pocket charts here. I have the alphabet center and the, I forgot what other one, but there's 2 alphabet centers that I have. Okay, so I'm gonna take a break from that little area and show you guys the desks. So the way that I set up the desks this school year is, this is where Vincent will be sitting. That is where Adrian will be sitting. And then obviously Evelyn right there in the red. I do have her old red chair here because it did break, but I use it to kind of just sit here when I do lessons with the boys. As far as work boxes go, Vincent's work boxes are on this side and Adrian's work boxes are on this side. And I'll give you guys a quick little peek into what those look like. Here I did have to put their social studies, science, and history. This is what we do on Fridays. So I did separate it because they're doing all the same stuff. So I just needed the extra space. So their workbooks and their textbooks are in here. So that's social studies, their science fusion books, and then their history is there. So Vincent's work boxes are already set up and ready to go. I'm not gonna go super in depth with everything, you guys. If you guys have already seen my curriculum picks video, you guys already kind of know what we're doing. I am adding a couple things like writing to their workload, but it's super simple writing. I will have to give you guys like an updated video on some of the stuff that I've added. The reading's ready to go, spelling, pretty much everything that they're gonna be doing is already set up and ready to go. Teaching textbooks, his geography, Chicano studies, and then he has his coding. And he is also going to be doing typing, so that his book is going to go in there also. So all that is ready to go. On this side, we have Adrian, and as far as Adrian, all his stuff is ready to go as well. Everything's inside of his drawers. Not going to go super in depth, but I did want to show you guys how I set up their work boxes. I might do a what's in their work box video once we start our school year, so like that you guys can see what we're still working on, what we started, how everything's working out. So as far as these book bins that are on their desks, this is what we're still working on as far as math and reading, along with the Friday stuff. And the Friday stuff, we're now doing it every day. And like I said, we only have about 5 lessons left of each. So it's only about a week's worth of stuff there. It looks like a lot, but it really isn't. So that is how I have the desks set up. So now when it comes to this side of the room, here are my little rats, and they're both sleeping right there. So on this side of the room is where I have my cone binding machine, my laminator, and my paper cutters, and then some extra binders and file cabinet. And then in here is where I have my everything that's arts and crafts. So anything having to do with paints and paintbrushes and crafting material, it's all gonna be in here. So that is that. And then behind the closet, this is where we have a couple extra puzzles and activities and just different toys. You guys can see the labels, so you guys can kind of see what is in the drawers. And then up here I have all my hot dot stuff. I actually have to return this owl, it was broken. Here I have some of these Rubik's cubes, but these are the phonic ones. So that is what is in here. And then as far as my desk, nothing really has changed when it comes to my desk. I did move my printer under my desk. Instead, I used to have it here, so I moved it under there, and I like it so much better. All my printer paper's there. I have regular paper, colored paper, and cardstock. Colored cardstock right there in the middle. This is my little junk drawer. This is anything that I find on the ground or on their desks that I just need to put away. I stick it in there. These are some little gifts that I got the kids for the first day of school. I am gonna get them a couple more things, but this is just like my little stash there. CD players there for our history. All of my school supplies that the kids, if the kids need a pencil, eraser, Post-its, highlighters, whatever it is, everything is here. And then my little Lazy Susan thing. This one just has magnets and clips and just different things that I can use to post things up on the wall or anything like that. I have some stickers up here, washi tape, my clock that kind of works, but it kind of doesn't. Some of the kids' art displayed up here. And then another junk drawer because I need more than one junk drawer, some school supplies. And then my curriculum shelf is back here. So everything, curriculum binders and teacher guides and workbooks and things like that whether I plan on using them this year or next year, everything's just here. This whole area is math, and then this whole area is my hardcore trophies. And let me see. So as far as my desk, there's my computer, my little bamboo, and then all of my teacher guides are there. I did make myself a planner for next year, so that is that. And here is just extra supplies. This is anything for my calendar and flashcards for Evelyn for the first couple of weeks of school. So these are the extra flashcards for Wordly Wise, and then these are some of the flashcards that we're going to be using as far as the first week of school with her letter recognition. Calendar pieces are all in there for this calendar. And then these are just pens and markers for me for my planner. Down here is just school type of supplies like hole puncher, scissors, rope, double-sided tape, my light for my camera, more stuff like that. This is push pins and Velcro and magnets. Here I have like sentence strips and some of these little guys from the Dollar Tree. So it's just a bunch of those that we use for, I sometimes use those for like sight words. And then down here is all my flashcards, and it's hard to open, so I'm not gonna open it, but it's all flashcards. And then comb binding stuff. So these are all my combs. And then down here, I do have a bin with the months for my calendar, and then a bunch of other posters and some of this drawing paper from IKEA for the little scroll thing. And that is it. And we're back to this little area. So that is my little schoolroom. That is how I set it up for this next school year. If you guys have questions on anything, please feel free and drop it down below. For now, thank you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.